Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to Atlanta Falcons Nation, everybody. We're happy that you guys are here. We're excited. It's going to be a fun episode. Another Thursday night with the ladies of AFN. So go ahead. I see y'all in the chat already. I see we had somebody, the early bird, about whatever. He was the first one in position today. Go ahead, then. Go ahead, then. We see
All right.
YMO Jamal 05. I see you in the chat. What's going on, everybody? Big Ant. What's up, y'all? Red and black. I see it. Robert Ponder. Let's get it, fellas. Well, ladies. Thank you. And it's Friday Eve.
Hey, Christy.
They got to get used to the ladies. So, yes. So thank you again, Christy. It's another lady in the house. How you doing? Happy Friday's Eve. I'm excited that it's Friday. It's Easter weekend, so there's a lot of fun activities going out this weekend. I'm actually going to that Camp Creek R&B Fest this weekend. It's like Saturday, so I'm about to be out there in this beautiful weather. It's a perfect Easter weekend. Oh yeah, so of course, Auntie, I'm gonna be listening to all the old school R&B.
You need a video live stream that so I can.
Oh yes, I will. But welcome to once again the ladies of Ladybirds of AFN. We're excited to have you guys. We have a special episode in store for you. What's going on, Deep Coleman, Sonia? Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and share this out. We want everybody tuned in. Seriously. So. Well, without further ado, we would like to bring on our special guest of the hour. I'm happy to have him back, but you might know him. He might be a little familiar to you if you're a Falcons fan. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Let's bring him on. What's going on? How are you today, sir?
Doing well, ladies. How are y'all?
Doing great.
Doing wonderful.
Good.
We're happy to have you. How are you feeling today?
Doing good. No, it's nice that things are finally starting to slow down a little bit here.
You can imagine. I actually reached out to Kelly and Tori, and I was like, you know what? It's kind of, free agency. I said, take your time. Whenever you can give me the opportunity, I'll take it. So I'm glad you was able to squeeze your time in today. I know it's still some news out, like a couple of people are interviewing free agents from our team. So that's exciting news as well. They get an opportunity somewhere else. But let's go ahead and get right into the conversation. Thank you guys. Ed Johnson, Jay Diaz, Mucho. I see all of you guys in there. Devon, Casey, everybody's here excited. I love to see it. Welcome. Special guest in the building. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we're getting ready to get into just a little bit of, first, we need to know who you are. I have a special question for you. It basically, how has it been being a sports reporter covering Georgia sports? How's it been for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly no shortage of content when you're here in Georgia, especially since I arrived. I got here back in 2021. I was at South Bend, Indiana, then Macon before that. I'm originally from the Atlanta area, but
okay.
But yeah, no, I mean, when I got here in 21, the Braves win the World Series, Georgia wins the national championship, Georgia goes back to back, and the Braves obviously doing what they're doing, and the Falcons are getting some marquee players here every single year. They've added a new one, and certainly excited to see what they're going to do this year, because I think this is the most put together team they've had since I've been back, and hopefully a playoff berth is on the horizon.
So what brought you back to, you saying are you from Georgia?
Yes, I'm from the Alpharetta area, if anyone's
okay. So you said you traveled a little bit and you was a reporter somewhere else. What just migrated you back to, Georgia?
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of wanted to be back here. I actually interned at this station when I was in college in 2017. So I was already kind of familiar with everybody here at the time. Justin, who's now my boss, I'm actually in the office that he had at the time. So it's been kind of
look at you.
Full circle moment.
You manifest that destiny and you made it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, for those who are unfamiliar, the media kind of works in market sizes, especially in TV. You got to start small and then work your way up. So I started off in Macon as a news reporter, believe it or not. I was a news reporter down there for about a year and some change. And
Macon.
Yeah, Macon. My mom actually went to college there, so I was kind of familiar with it. But then went to South Bend, Indiana for 2 years, covered Notre Dame, finally got back into sports reporting. They made me a news reporter again, and then I eventually got a freelance opportunity down here back in 2021. So I hopped at the chance to do it, and now we're full time. So full circle.
Okay, and who are you with right now? In case some people don't know who you are, and it's not the Miles Garrett you're thinking. So, what station are you running with now?
Yeah, no, although I do have a signed Miles Garrett jersey here in my office right in front of me.
Oh,
yeah. But no, yeah, I work at for Fox 5 Atlanta. So we cover obviously all things Atlanta sports, Georgia sports. We're official partners with the Atlanta Falcons and the Georgia Bulldogs. So we do all of their shows every week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, them Bulldogs now. They need to stay out of the news with this DUI stuff now, because but that happens every year, but look, we got with what's the name leaving now, Alabama is not quite the talked about team anymore. It's the Georgia Bulldogs. That's, what's happening. So everybody needs to be on their best behavior during the off season. Get it together. So you said you remember him back in the day. Okay. Hey, Lyrics Mom. Hey, Mal. Okay, so we get ready to get into this, and thank you for the introduction and everything. We just appreciate you just taking the time out with us today. We do have one more lady in the house. I think she's ready to go. Make sure she's together. Okay, I'll go ahead and bring her on. Then we're gonna get into this conversation. My sister's calling me. I'm gonna have to ignore her. I love her to death, but I'm doing the show right now. So, with that being said, Miss Witt, are you with us today?
No, I'll add something to it.
She's taking her time.
Yeah,
but
I'm taking my sweet time. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You know you in the studio right now. Take your time.
Yeah, no.
It's actually an honor to see you working.
Yeah, sorry. What was the question?
No, we was introducing Witt. She's here.
Just about the yellow jackets.
Yeah. It's Whitney J from the A, ready to slay.
All right. We're happy to have you with us today as well. What's going on, Wallace? Okay. I'm going to call my sister back. She just keeps calling me. I'll text her later. So I'm going to ask this question. We want to get right into it. The offseason has been extremely exciting for us. Huge change, to the staff, to the players. So we just kind of want to know what your thoughts are. And then we're going to have the ladies chime in on after that. And it's kind of how we're going to go. We're going to round table it. I'll point to everybody, to see your feedback on it as well. So let's get started. Thoughts on the offseason decisions that Terry and Raheem has done so far, Miles? What do you think about it?
I like it a lot. Especially, it all starts with the offensive coordinator, getting Zach Robinson in here. He was one of the hottest commodities basically out there before this whole coaching cycle began, and really during the process. I don't think he was ever going to be a head coach this cycle, but he was definitely a very hot name for an offensive coordinator candidate. And I think the Falcons got the right guy for that. Obviously, he has some familiarity with Raheem out there in LA and kind of running Sean McVay's system, a lot of familiarity with the quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield. I think that's why there's a lot of discussion about having Baker Mayfield potentially here if they didn't want to or didn't get Kirk Cousins. I know he was, at the top of their wish list per se this offseason. But Kirk Cousins obviously is the headliner for sure outside of Zach Robinson. And, I know there's kind of maybe a split reaction to Kirk because, he's never really done that much per se in Minnesota, but he's consistently shown that he is a quarterback and he can get you to the playoffs at bare minimum. And he's done good things. I think at his best, he's shown he can be a bottom half, top 8 quarterback in the league, top 10. I think his floor is very high. I think his ceiling is maybe not as high. I think that's to be the best way to put it. But I think the big question when it comes to Kirk Cousins is which Kirk Cousins are you going to get? He's coming off an Achilles surgery, which is a very serious injury, as we all know. He's 36 years old, which isn't, you get Matt Ryan was about 36, 37 when he left Atlanta. And at that time, you saw some decline in his game a little bit.
That's true.
So all that considered, it all depends on which one. Because, if you're getting the Kirk Cousins that you got right before that Achilles happened, this is a guy who was leading the NFL in touchdown passes and passing yards. He was right up there at number 1. So all that considered, I think that's a pretty good option at quarterback, especially given the fact of what you've had at quarterback the last couple of years. I think it's kind of shown that the team considered
That's a whole
themselves.
different conversation. The quarterback situation we had
Yeah.
last year, the revolving quarterbacks. That was definitely was interesting to see. I can
Oh
say
yeah,
the
no
least.
doubt, no doubt. Especially, like they always say, a quarterback away, and we know Raheem Morris's history. Being a first-time head coach back in Tampa Bay, he was dealing with young rookie quarterbacks at the time: Josh Freeman, Josh Johnson, a couple other like Byron Leftwich, those types of guys. I think this time around he wanted to have a proven commodity kind of run his team this time, and when you have a roster that's built like Atlanta, especially on offense, I mean, these guys are ready to roll. We've seen what Kyle Pitts can do when he has consistent quarterback play. We've seen Drake London break records with guys like Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder. We've seen what Bijan Robinson can do. There's a lot of raw talent on this roster, and you add speedsters now and Rondale Moore and Darnell Mooney. This offense looks like it's ready to take off.
Oh yeah. Now what you think about that, ladies, as well? I think we kind of agreed with you there. I'm gonna let Miss Pam let us know what you feel about what you just said there.
I totally agree with him, but I don't think he's finished, not just yet. I'm anxious to look what he's going to do in the draft, and I'm anxious to see what he's going to do after the draft, because we do have some holes on the defense part of the field, but then we're still waiting on Calais to see if he actually going to commit. So basically, it's a lot of questions of what he's gonna do or what they gonna pick at number 8, or is they gonna stay right there at 8, or they gonna trade back. We all know they're gonna need to draft a quarterback, but I think the quarterback gonna come in the later rounds.
Okay, Pam.
But
And Miss, let's just go ahead and get what you got going on. Miss Asia, what you think about it?
I agree with both of y'all. I'm just waiting to see like who we get in the draft, because like Pam said, we could get a quarterback later in the draft, because since we have Kirk Cousins, and then since we re-signed what's his name? Taylor Heineke. Yeah, so what we need is some defensive players as well. Like we need some bigger defensive players, someone that can help Grady Jarrett, because he's coming off of an injury. And then we still got what's his name, Zach Harrison. So we do need some bigger guys. So I'm hoping we get an edge rusher. And I like the decisions Raheem Morris is making with Terry Fontenot, with the draft, and what I'm seeing so far within the news. I'm starting to see some good changes, and I'm starting to see there's going to be some progression this season. And I'm really hoping that we have a good season, because within these past few seasons, we do not need another 17. But I feel like we're a playoff team this year.
Okay. Miss Witt, what you got to add to that one?
I definitely agree. I believe that, especially offense, we're set up and we were a quarterback away. I am kind of, like I said on our different programs, I was kind of upset that they sent Desmond away, but he need a fresh new start. Yeah. And Taylor actually plays a little bit more identical to Kirk. So I think it works in that we're looking for veteran play. We're hungry for a championship.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Kirk is, and the rest of the team is too. So hopefully this matches together again in the draft. We get an edge rusher. We try to make sure we plug in more holes. I would say I'm optimistic with Raheem saying that he's been talking to Calais, and we still got Ayumana. We still have some areas of that's being retained, but I'm really happy that our offensive line has remained as such. But I'm ready to see where we go. Terry been cooking. Raheem got a plan. Raheem the dream, and I'm just waiting for that championship dream, especially with today's date.
Oh yes, yeah. We're not even gonna mention it. We don't talk about that, Bruno. But my opinions about that is, what sold me with Raheem was that his beginning interview. His press conference to us. He was just basically saying, I won't be the smartest man in the room, but I will bring the right people, coaches and things like that to surround me to make sure these players are developing where they need to be. as far as I feel that some players didn't get the opportunity to, be in their right positions and get the chance to, show their skills and things like that. I didn't think that the play calling it wasn't my favorite, so it's like I felt like it was some hit and misses with the coaching. And he said all it takes is the right coaching, and he's a win now type of guy. He's not trying to have all the hats. He's trying to give it to everybody else and bring in quarterback coaches that actually played the game. They can come in and get these veteran play, football player together. Of course, we are all looking at that. Now we got 2 on the team. Both of them kind of had some injuries here and there, but develop him. And then, like you guys said, maybe a quarterback to come in later on in the rounds of the draft. Pull him up and develop him from the beginning, give him a better opportunity than Ryder had. Honestly, let's just be real. I think that they made that decision because they felt, you know what, he can have a better situation where he's going to go, and it gives him time to develop and everything else. Because when Mariota kind of left, it kind of put him in an awkward situation. It's like, oh, I got to start now. So it's like, I think it was a rush situation. Of course, he had to do what he had to do. That's what he got signed for. But I think it's taking the pressure off of him a little bit more to become the quarterback we feel like he can be. So with that, I'm happy to see Raheem and Terry. Terry is here to, fix their cap. He's been doing that. His draft has been great for the last 2 years. So I feel like we're getting ready to be in a better position to be win now ready. And I think that's where they're going with it. So don't be surprised. Some of these cuts we're going to make, some of your favorite players that's not producing will probably be gone. So let's get excited about that. But let's go ahead and get right into the next question, everybody. I see y'all in chat. So speaking of first year expectations under the new coaching and player changes, we're going to give that to you, Miles. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's funny because, I said this at the beginning of last season as far as what the expectations were. I think playoffs and division championship, I think, should be the expectation right now, just because that's, going reverse a little bit here, starting back to last year. That was the year that the jump was supposed to be made. You finally are out of cap hell. You have the team that you want now, which on paper last year looked pretty good. And we know that. That's why we're calling them a playoff team this year, just because it seemed like the issues last year were quarterback related. I said this a bunch. If you have average quarterback play last year, Arthur Smith's still probably the head coach of this team.
Yeah.
Because they're probably in the playoffs. And who knows what happens when you're in the playoffs like that? Anything can really happen. But yeah, I think first year expectations, this is why Arthur Blank made this move. He liked Arthur Smith a lot, and it takes a little bit of impatience to make a move like that, and to also have your expectation being, we're winning now. This is why I'm making this hire. This is why we're going to give Kirk Cousins at 36 years old all this guaranteed money to come in and be a quarterback. You're not just doing
that. Was divide. That contract was, I think that was divide in the fan base a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're not doing that to be like, oh, like, let's build it up and see what happens year 2, year 3. No, you're doing that to be, hey, we're making a run now. The NFC South is extremely weak. The Bucks are returning a couple guys. Obviously, they get back Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, but outside of those of them, you're not worried about the Panthers whatsoever. And the Saints are also in cap hell, and Dennis Allen, I don't think, strikes fear to anyone's soul. So you consider all of that. I think it's very reasonable to say a first year expectation is a division championship and the playoffs, especially with the moves they've made. They've got all the talent in the world.
Playoffs.
We are talking about playoffs.
And what you think about that? What are your expectations of the team?
My expectation is what Raheem Morris said at his press conference, that he wants to win. The 2016 left a bitter taste in most of the fan base mouth. So basically, I wasn't on his bandwagon at first, but then when I heard his press conference, he sold me hook, line, sinker. With the suit, everything. He told me that he wants to win. He come here to win. He's not gonna settle for anything less than a win. Get that Lombardi Trophy for Arthur Smith. That's
Oh yeah.
that's exactly what he said at the
Yeah.
press conference. So that's my expectation to win the division, be home field, get the home field advantage, so we can have the first, the home field advantage, the first, I guess
The best
what you call it?
opportunity for us. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and and get to that Super Bowl and
Oh,
win it in New
Oh yeah.
Orleans. That will
now
be
that
a
would be a
highlight
party.
of all Falcons fan to get to New Orleans and actually win it.
Oh yeah.
That would be
That would not everything the past Super Bowl history if they can actually do that.
Okay,
Well,
okay. And Miss Asia, what's your expectation of the team?
to win, to have Super Bowl wins, because we, from like you said, these past 7 years, I just feel like we just have not. It left a bitter taste in everybody's mouth. So it's like I feel like with the new regime we have now, with the new coach and our new coaching staff and the new players we got, I feel like we we can do something with that. We can like build a new foundation. We can get some wins. I'm getting tired of seeing the same fans talking smack, but then they end up below us. So I feel like we are favorites in like leading the division this year,
Oh yeah.
because obviously Panthers don't got nothing. The Bucks they still got Baker Mayfield. I'm not saying he's bad, but he's average. And then the Saints, who do they have? They're losing people, so it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like the Falcons, we got new people, so I feel like anytime we get like a new coaching staff, new players, I feel like we're able to work with that. And I feel like this season we need to win the division, because there's no excuses from last season.
It was in our taking last season.
Yeah.
It was just those last few games. We just let it get away from us. So we was
Yeah,
close. We definitely
exactly.
was
It cost
close.
Arthur Smith his job right there.
Right.
It, I agree with that one. And I think the quarterback situation too kind of cost
Yep.
him his job. What you think
Yep.
about that, Whit? What are your expectations?
my expectation is a division win and at least one win in the playoffs. That's my expectation for this year. You can't sign Kirk to that much money, guaranteed. You
Mhm.
can't literally say that, hey, it needs to be done right here, right now, without that type of expectation out the gate. I mean, Raheem has two Super Bowls under his belt. Yes, he has that. He has that situation that happened, and he's coming from that McVay tree. It is what it is. That is it's almost like a blue blood type of main tree now. So
Mhm.
knowing that he had that head coach experience before and it didn't go well, he's worked his way up the rank. He has defense experience. He has offense experience. And seeing where we were last year, and he instantly made them changes where you had a QB coach. He kept TJ Yates, which I'm really, really happy about, that TJ is really getting an opportunity to do
Yeah.
what he should have been doing.
Mhm.
What he should have been doing. And you're bringing in hot new talent when it comes to coordination. You made sure you kept the offensive line. You made sure you kept certain coaches with players. I actually wish that maybe his name slipping my name now. Our defensive
Nelson.
coordinator. Yeah,
Wilson.
I wish he would at
Nelson.
least waited before he took that job. Maybe with us getting Raheem, maybe he would have stayed, and that could have
Right.
picked up things a little bit more. But I'm loving where it's going. I'm ready to see where the draft goes, OTAs, training camp, on to making sure our starters actually play significant time in
Yeah. That's the main
the
thing.
season.
Mhm.
So that's definitely my expectation, is us winning. And if we just get one playoff win and we go out, that's fine. That's better than what we've been doing the last 4 or 5 years. So get better and better and better. But they can't lose this division. They
Okay.
can't lose.
Okay. And I'm gonna add to it. Me personally, when I watch the seasons, I say I'm always looking just for the smallest improvement. I think we've made some small, and great teams are built over time. So I do agree that, they made some, great decisions in the draft, free agency, the undrafted players, etc. They brought in some good pieces. That the Falcons team is a decent organization already with who we held on to. We just needed a couple of bits and pieces, edge, or certain things that we need to address, and I feel like they will definitely do that. But I just like that the team is excited about the coaching, change. It just seems like Terry and Raheem just have, I'm not saying him and Smith didn't, but it just seems like it's a different atmosphere here. It's more like accountability and, I'm here to make these players better. It was the coaching situation, this and that, so he's taking it in his hands like, look, we know what was needed. We're going to do exactly that. And you already got the man in the house that knows how to wiggle around that cap situation. That's what he was brought here for in the first place. So, everybody's looking at Kirk's contract, but you got to think about it. It was 1-year contracts for a lot of these signings, and they were willing to sign that for that length of time because it's like, you know what? I see what's happening with this team. I just like the opportunity. I want to be a part of it. So my expectations is definitely winning the division. Getting into that playoffs a little bit more prepared, more than the record that we had. We got to increase that. Definitely getting some defensive pieces to help Grady coming from the injury. Tyler and all of them, giving them a couple of more touches. Cal, we got the three-headed monster, on the team. Now we got to make use to them. So I feel that hopefully. Can't wait to see what's going to happen in the draft. That's what I'm really looking forward to, and everything. So that's just my opinion. I see somebody said Super Bowl a bust. Okay.
That's what I said.
High expectation.
That's what I said.
And we're going to get to your question, Terry, because we're going to definitely get into the draft conversation in here. Here we go. So it's like, Miles, somebody kind of asked you a question, but our question was, which direction do you think the Atlanta Falcons would go in the draft?
Yeah, I think right now the obvious answer seems to be edge rusher, especially with how the top 5-4 looking like it's going to be going all quarterback. So because of that, it'll probably free up some guys. Like after the top, like say it is a situation where the top 4 are quarterbacks, or for the top 5 rather are quarterbacks. That leaves guys like Marvin Harrison, the Malik Neighbors of the world. You're not going to get another receiver. So you get all that considered. Do you take a Joe Alt, who also may be off the board? I think that's another guy you could potentially take a flyer on, because you can never have enough offensive linemen. Do you want to maybe groom him to replace Jake Matthews, or maybe step in for Caleb McGarry? I know you seem like you get the rest of your offensive line basically already shaped up. But outside of that, really, the next best available type guys are those edge rushers, the Dallas Turners of the world, the Jared Verses, the Lutus of the world. So you have all those guys who are kind of ready to come off the board. You do have a need at cornerback outside of AJ Terrell, but I don't think there's really a guy there that is worth taking at pick number 8. Now, could you trade down? Yeah, I think there's a chance that you do trade down from pick number 8. I do say this, though. I think is a very, 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 very low probability of this happening. But if a Drake May ends up falling to 8, I think you run to the podium and draft him, because I think there is no better person to learn for a year or two under Kirk Cousins than to have a Drake May, who's kind of raw. He's a little bit, I don't know if you're ready to start him just yet, but to have a guy with his ability, his size, he's got a lot of Josh Allen in him. I think he would benefit greatly from sitting behind Kirk Cousins for a year or two. Do I think that'll happen? No. But I do think if a guy like that's available, you're not going to know the next time you're going to pick in the top 10, and you're going to have to get a quarterback eventually. Kirk's time isn't going to be here too long. I know he's a 4-year contract, but I mean, you never know. Once quarterbacks reach a certain age, sometimes they start to plateau a little bit. So you want to have your exit strategy available, as the Green Bay Packers have shown. Always have that guy ready, and you never know where your next franchise guy might be.
You're right. You're right.
Oh,
Sometimes those hidden gems were late round picks.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
So you never know. You never know. So, say hello, ladies. How y'all doing tonight? Miss Pam, go ahead. What are your expectations in the draft? Which direction you think they're gonna go?
I would think they would trade back for some more pick, and I think Minnesota would be a good trading partner for the Falcons right now that I'm looking at. Hopefully, they could work some deals to get more picks. And I think if they trade back, I still think we can get one of those edge rush if we trade back. But like I said, this draft is very deep in wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And it is also deep in the edge rush because there's some
Mhm.
edge rush you can get kind of in the this diamond in the gym in the late rounds, and I just feel that you need more picks to get more players on there to plug up this team. I say to build up the trenches on both sides if you can, you know. And the two quarterbacks I'm actually looking at in the later round is Spencer Rattler and Jordan Travis out of Florida State. They'll be two
Mhm.
ideal people to sit behind Kirk Cousin if need to be. But I think they'll trade back. That's
Okay.
my opinion.
All right. And Miss Asia, follow back on that one. What do you think about the draft?
Um, I know for our first round, pick 8, I definitely see what's the edge rusher's name that they keep bringing up?
Dallas Turner,
Yeah, I
Latu
see us getting
Latte,
him.
and Jared
Yeah.
Burke.
Yeah, so I'm like seeing between them. I just want to see because I know we need some people, some big players, and somebody from Alabama will be a good fit. And I feel like once we do that, then we need to start trading back or getting some more picks because that will only benefit us later down the line. And if we can
Mm-hmm.
get, like she said, if we can get Jordan Travis or Spencer Rattler, that can be a good possible pick because with how well Jordan Travis played out in Florida State, I feel like him learning behind Kirk Cousins, it will help him be, it will help him develop more, and it could be a future. And like Aunt said, we just need a win. So if we can get the players that we can get in the draft, because I think we have 8 picks, I believe. I think it's 8 picks, yeah. So if
Mm-hmm.
we can get what we need
Ending
to
eight
get,
picks.
yeah,
Oh,
Ending a
still,
possible.
yeah,
hopefully it
Uh,
remains 8 picks.
oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I feel like if we do what we need to do, and just like trade, like she said, Minnesota is a good trading partner. If we can do that, then they know what to do from there. But we cannot make stupid decisions like we did last year because we do need offensive. We need offensive linemen. That's another thing.
Need
We do
everything.
need some. Yeah, so we need a little bit of everything, especially special teams. We already got Ray McLeod, but we do need some blockers.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that's what
Okay.
I think. Hmm.
All right. I like that take. And Miss Witt, what do you think? Draft.
Well, I do think they possibly need to trade back. I know they're probably gonna go edge. I do agree with somebody in the chat about getting a CB, especially a lot of the CBs. They look really, really good during the combine. They really look good in the DBs this year. So I'm mostly am focused on the defense. I still believe that because actually the Falcons have been really, really lucky when it comes to undrafted talent. We
Mhm.
have a lot of undrafted talent that was able to make themselves on the team and make themselves known. So, I mean, maybe we can find diamond growth when it comes to offense on there, but I do think the defense needs to be the number one priority, especially with definitely with the picks that was made in free agency. We still know there's some free agents out there. We don't know who's going to be cut. We just
Mm-hmm.
dealt with a cut actually today. So I'm just I just ready for it to get done. I'm ready to see what this product is. So whatever
Yes.
goes in the draft, I still like. I didn't like the Bijan pick last year, but I ended up growing to love it. So I hopefully Terry and Raheem, they have that good mixture and we get it going. I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
wanted to go.
Oh yeah. And and this was kind of where I was going to go into my, piece on it. We were saying we were not found guilty for the tampering BS, right?
Yeah.
No, they're still investigating. It's still going. So that one, that's why I said it's kind of pending what's going to happen with that. Hopefully they don't hit us too hard, but I'm praying, because Arthur Blank was like, no, I don't feel that we was tampering. So he's going to, put his foot down and say, nope, nope, we didn't do it. I think Kurt was just excited and happy to be here. He just kind of opened his mouth a little too soon on some things. Delete the tapes. No evidence, that type of but hopefully they get the proper way. But even if I look at it like this, a little controversy don't hurt, just a little bit. People go to Super Bowls when there's controversy. I'm just putting it out there. So hopefully not, though. I don't want to lose any draft picks, but if we do,
no.
I think if we do, then that means we will probably have to, force get our edge, but definitely trade back, because we're going to get those picks back. Depending on where they put it, if it's going to be for the next season, it just really matter of, the penalty that's going to happen with that. So, good question. So, just kind of get some of these comments. Falcons win the division and make it to the Super Bowl. Okay. It says Scotty Robinson said Raheem Morris is definitely coach of the year candidate in 2024. Some hot takes here.
Yeah.
Hot takes. Millie Mill said, my only expectation is an improved passing game. Let's just finally use these weapons to their, and that's what it's all about. The right coaching, using them to their potential, and also putting them in their proper, positions as well. Of course, I love the hybrid thing that Arthur Smith was going with having a lot of versatile players. Continue to develop that, because we can use these players any type of way. Because you saw how he was having injuries and things like that, especially in the quarterback situation. Like Kyle Pitts, Cordero is gone. So it's like we need another, hybrid like that. That's a little younger though, that can come in and just get this team ready to go. So let's see, we will break the 7-win curse 6 years too long. That's right. Christy. True. Jerry Versace is the best pass rusher in the draft. He's more productive. It says, I have a feeling a lot of Falcons are going to trade down. Okay, so everybody's kind of agreeing with the trade back. Of course. So, but let's get into something that's changed in the NFL. They recently announced it, and it's like, what is going to be what difference this is going to make for the game of football, period. So NFL owners approved significant changes to kickoff rules, move trade deadline to week 9. Miles, did you kind of get a little bit of a study of what those changes were a little bit? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I actually like the kickoff rule. The kickoff rule, for those unfamiliar, they're basically adopting what was done in the, I guess now is the UFL. I think it was the XFL last year. Yeah, because I know they merged with the USFL. But I actually like it, because we don't really see kickoff returns anymore, because they usually are just all touchbacks, moving the kickoff a little bit deeper into territory now, so you don't really see those kickoffs anymore. So I like it, because I think we'll get to see kickoff returns again. I think those are kind of a fun aspect of the game. So is it going to look like it always has? No, but I think it'll create more opportunities for those cool kickoffs that we haven't seen in really a long time. I think personally the biggest rule that's going to affect things is the ban of the hip drop tackle.
Oh boy.
Because on paper, it's good because theoretically you're going for player safety, because it's resulted in a lot of knee injuries, a lot of ankle injuries, but it's really difficult to tackle grown men that size, like Derrick Henry's of the world, without putting your full body weight trying to get these guys. Yeah. And it's already hard enough for defenders as it is. Rules are very, very, very favorable for the offense, and it seems like a new rule comes out every single year that benefits them even more.
That's true.
So, I mean, and also one other thing I brought up to a friend, I was talking about this, is that, I mean, you go back 20 years, maybe, about 20 years, look at the jerseys. I mean, now these got jerseys that are skin tight that you can barely get off the shoulder pads. Back then, you could maybe get a little bit more of a grip on somebody because their jersey was maybe a little bit looser. It wasn't as skin tight like that, which is good. Again, it makes you faster and, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it also made tackling slightly easier because you could get a grip on these guys a little bit better. I think the hip drop, I mean, I don't think there's any malicious intent by it. It's just the only way to get some guys down.
Yeah. That's the position they've been taught. It's like kind of it's, so, I mean, especially when you're used to doing it, it's going to be hard to try to break that.
If you are a linebacker, cornerback, safety, whoever you are in the open space chasing Derrick Henry, I don't know how you're not
do it.
Point. So, I mean, I think that's kind of the bigger rule that stood out to me.
Okay. Miss Pam.
I agree with Miles that that hip tackle is going to be difficult for the defender to go through. You're going to have probably a lot of coaching to probably get somebody like a referee to see the kind of what is the right way to tackle or something, but the league gonna have to be more forthcoming on what is illegal and what is not legal. That's my take on that. But you had a lot of defenders like TJ Watts came out saying something that it's just gonna basically make football not football. That's pretty much what it is. So
they're gonna be playing two-hand touch in a minute.
Yeah,
that's right. Since you're talking already, Miss Witt, go ahead and let us know. Then we'll get to you, Asia. What do you think about that new rule? Did you get a chance to look at it?
I did, and I love the new kickoff rule. I'm a little cautious about the hip tackling, only because we've seen what the defenders are feeling and what they're trying to do when it comes to tackling now. We all seen the infamous flag on Grady Jarrett when it came to tackling, which we feel like it was clean on Tom Brady. So it's like have those type of situations where you're asking men who've been possibly playing football since Pee-wee to unlearn those things that they've been taught as kids, that they was taught in grade school, middle school, high school, college. So I mean that's going to be a lot intake, and I do agree with Miles that while we love to see the offense, we love to see the play. However, we all know that football is a contact sport. I'm pretty sure all those men know that you got to be special anyway to make it to the NFL, but you are putting your body on the line. You're going against 200, 300 plus men. You're contacting like that. Yes, I do want us to cut down on the different injuries and CTE and different things like that. However, don't lose what's already been a beautiful game. We've come with safety measures, but I just don't want to lose how football is. I just don't.
And I agree with you with that one. I'm going on that since you already brought it up. But go ahead, Miss Asia. Your thoughts about that NFL change?
I agree, because it will avoid a bunch of injuries. It's just going to be a lot more harder and a lot more technical because players are so used to doing these hip tackles, and now that they're getting rid of that, it's like they got to be more cautious. And then some of them may forget because they're so used to be hitting below the waist or hitting by the hip, because it can cause Achilles injuries, it can cause ankles, ACL tears. So it's like they got to be more cautious, and then you don't want refs missing calls because of that. So and then the new kickoff rule, I agree with, because it gives the kickoff returner enough time to get to catch the ball instead of having everybody running at him all at once.
Okay. So, all right, Adrian. Go ahead. I see what D. Coleman was saying. He said, only thing I don't like that you have to declare an onside kick. That's trash. Other than that, sounds fun. So,
Yeah.
and I kind of want to go into what you guys kind of spoke about. It really is the biggest thing is the player safety at this point. It started off when they started, you saw those big helmets they wear with the padding, they did in OTAs and training camp. It's protecting this brain here. There's a lot of hits and injuries and things that happen. So it's like, yeah, it's a nuisance to change it. And like you said, don't go away from what we already know. We don't want it to be flag football, but whatever measures we can put in place to protect these players so they can have a little bit more longevity, like wide receivers and all the running backs, you see what I'm saying? So it's like it's put place in there to protect our players, but yeah, it's going to take some time for everybody to get used to the new changes, especially if it's an old habit that you have. It's going to be a lot of questionable coaches, referees making these decisions, looking at this, and they got to make the right decision on these calls. So it's the pressure of getting it right, remembering the rules, etc. So I do hope they have these experts out there that knows it like that now. They can kind of help these referees kind of get into the groove of things. And that's where it comes in with that preseason and everything. Everybody just got to play and, get comfortable with the rule change and everything else, because that's going to make the grand difference on how this is going to play, for the rest of this season and on down. So, he said, I remember that Grady wasn't happy about that penalty on Brady, so it's incidents like that they're going to have to stick to their guns, follow the rules, do as best they can, but it's going to be a lot of flags and things early on that we're probably going to see about that. They might as well go play flag football. Everybody's saying just play flag football, but are y'all going to enjoy that though? It says Jet Life 420 said, I think it's ironic. All the rule changes over the past few years only benefit and prevent injuries, like Miles said, on offense. Defense can still get out, cut block at the knees, and they don't care.
They don't care at all.
Yeah. Also, players will now start to go low on bigger ball carriers, and knee injuries will probably increase. And last comment, I know that they're trying to make the game more safer, but football is football, and injuries are going to happen even with some of these changes they're making. That is for the offensive side. So, yeah, like Grady Jarrett, he's hopefully he's back on track and ready to go and everything else. But yeah, it's like we got to protect our defensive players too. There's a lot of wear and tear on them also as well. So tackling and all that they doing and knocking people down and getting elbowed and kicked and everything else, that's a lot on them as well. So what are we doing to protect those players? So Miles, I already know you said you hanging with us until about 9 p.m. Your last thoughts on the season and everything else. If anybody got one last question, we can go ahead and ask him. And then, of course, what's upcoming for you? We just want to hear from you. We appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you say? Wait, so sorry, you broke up there a little bit there at the end.
Oh, I did. No, I was just saying basically your last thoughts about the season and what do you think is to come next? Do you think it's some more cuts and changes to come? And I was seeing if anybody had a question in the chat for you for the last bit of it. If not, we just thank you.
Yeah, no, I think with the draft, there's definitely going to be a lot of positions that they're going to cover. And as we've been saying, I don't think that trading back is out of the cards right now. I think that's very much an option because of the fact that they do really need a cornerback number 2 opposite AJ Terrell. I think you can kind of make that happen if you trade back and maybe get an extra pick there in the first round. You can kind of double up and get the edge rusher that you want, and then get the cornerback that you need to get, maybe Quinvon Mitchell or get a Nate Wiggins there. Perhaps, you get one of those two guys to pair up with AJ Terrell. But outside of that, yeah, I think you may see some cuts to guys that you're not used to seeing. Those guys might be. I'm not sure. I'm not going to put.
You don't have an insight, Miles. You don't have a little hint.
No, especially the fact that we are partners with the team. I like to kind of keep that private, personally. But,
definitely understood.
But no, for sure. But no, I think that they're going to probably address wide receiver too. I know they've made some moves, free agency. to basically rework that room. I think one of the biggest things the biggest transformations has been their wide receiver room, because you go from kind of these big body, almost basketball player types. You see the Mac Hollins, the Cordell Pattersons. I know he was a little bit of a running back, Swiss Army, whatever you want to call him, but Kadero Hodge. These are all big guys. Now you get kind of smaller and faster with Rondale Moore and Darnell Mooney, guy who can kind of rip it over the top. And of course, you still have that size in Drake London and Kyle Pitts. But I do think it's a little bit of a different identity there in that receiver room. So, you do get some guys back on defense as well. Troy Anderson, you forget he was kind of off to a very good start last year. And I know that guys like Nate Landman and Caden Ellis had really big years for you, but the linebacking core is probably one of your stronger rooms right now, just with the amount of personnel you've got in there. So, I think there's a lot to like about this team. Obviously, they're still not done yet. We've got a long ways to go. The draft is going to be really exciting. I'll be there myself. I'll be there live for Fox 5. So, we'll have all the reports from the red carpet and everything. So I'll be.
That's exciting. We definitely will be tuned in for that. Definitely. Y'all heard it first. Y'all follow Miles and then over there for the draft. And actually, we're going to do us a live viewing party here on Atlanta Falcons Nation. So we're excited about it. Probably not all round. That takes all day long. But the first 2 rounds, we definitely was going to kick it with the fans. So, of course, have fun with that. And we really, really do thank you for joining us tonight. Ladies, you have any last words to say to them?
Okay. Yeah, he covered everything that we got answered, and I'm glad you joined us, because this is the first time I'm talking to somebody from a newscast. So I really enjoyed having you on here and getting your insight and your input, knowing that you're a sports reporter. So I can learn a lot from this because I'm into sports. So I really thank you for giving us your opinions on what's to come this upcoming season.
Absolutely. No, it was a pleasure talking with you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Pam Witt.
I just wanted to know, just as a little joke, how does it feel to always get confused with Myles Garrett, the football player, and have people tag you all the time? You it's not me.
Yeah, no, I've kind of just learned to own it a little bit. It's kind of funny because me and him are the exact same age too.
Oh wow!
So that obviously makes things a lot more fun in that regard. But no, I wish I could I guess I can maybe take this down here.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd show the jersey.
Yeah,
you guys have a bun now.
Ah, nice.
I love it.
You earned that. You earned that.
Yes.
You got to fit him a Fox 5 Miles shirt or something.
So yeah, got that hanging in here. So no, it's good. I've kind of learned to enjoy it. I know that every time he has a big game, my Twitter mentions are going to blow up a little bit. So I've just learned to accept it.
Hey, it's bringing publicity to you as well. It's like, well, I'm not him, but thanks for being here.
Exactly.
Miss Pam.
Just thank you for coming on our podcast, and I'll definitely be tuning in on upcoming what's going on with the Falcons, and hopefully I think we will. The season ticket holder will definitely have a draft party in the bins. It was badly missed last year because of the Taylor Swift concert and all that. So yeah. Hopefully we can get back in the bins and have that party there.
Yeah, I hope so too. That sounds like a blast.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you, Miles, once again. Everybody, you can find him on Fox 5. Follow him on Twitter, and wherever you can find him. That's somebody I do follow, and one of my sources and references are always quoting things like that. Trust it. Him over there with Tori, Kelly, all of them over there at Fox 5, as well as just being a part of the Atlanta Falcons organization is a dream come true. So to get that honor to do that and to come back home to do it, when you had to go away a little bit and you intern and made your way back in there, it's amazing. It's amazing to have you on. We thank you, though. I'm going to go ahead and give you your evening back. Appreciate you. We always, it's a joy to have you. And of course, you're welcome to come back again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the kind words. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you
so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
You too.
All right, everybody. So we're gonna keep it going because I'm not Ryder. K-Style show is not until 9:30.
9:30, okay.
But it was an honor to have him
Yes.
on the show. I'm excited about that. We're going to have a little bit more few interviews with that. Thank you. Invited a couple more sports reporters, as well as I'm reaching out to some former football players. So just kind of recircling around the guests that we already had on before, because when we first had these people on, AFN was just starting. We didn't have such a big fan base then, but now it's like we get an opportunity to give them a little treat here and there during the off season. So don't be surprised who you'll see here, as well as, since we got everybody in here, we got the red and black event coming up, people.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and put that in the chat. Oh, I got to copy and paste it probably, but let me get that in a minute. But what I'm going to do now is I'm thinking about, since everybody's a little happy and talking about it, let's see what the fans want to say about this season. Kind of ask them the same questions, your expectations for the draft, the season. So we're gonna put a link in the chat if you ladies are okay with that. You okay with that? Okay.
Could I say
All
something
right.
real quick?
Go ahead.
I would like to there was a Dixie Wade from his show. Like to thank them guys from coming on. Definitely like and subscribe to our channel.
Oh yeah, sure. Definitely. Oh, we love it when all the other content creators come and view us. We appreciate you. It's nothing but love here with the Atlanta Ladybirds of AFN. You know what? I just feel like we all just got to come together, because this team is going to be something special in the next couple of years. I can feel it. And I want to be dancing in the street at the Super Bowl with with all you guys. So let's just bring it together, put it in, and fill those stadiums up, because that's what we're gonna need.
Have my cocktail on hand if that happens.
Oh yes. You already know the Lady Bird's gonna be out there front and center. What up, pom pom?
Yes.
Let's go, Lady Birds. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and drop the link to the fans. If you feel like coming on here, the last 30 minutes, don't take too long. Let your fellow brethren have opportunity to speak. You got to head out. Okay, Asia, thank you for being with us today. And anybody else that need to drop off, it is absolutely okay. I know we got babies and everything to take care of. I put mine in his room.
I just might pop in, pop out with my view.
Okay, that is fine. Thank you, Miss Asia. And the link is in the chat, people, and I'm also gonna get off of here when we start getting some people on. But overall, trying to think. I wanted to talk about that rule, without the rule, but I'm hoping that we don't get penalized for. It's like, to me, it just feel like the Falcons have been a target as of lately, and it started with B. John, when they was all, he didn't play, he wasn't ready. About ready, you on your way? Okay, come on in, come through, Reggie, Lady Bird,
definitely come
through. So we're starting to be talked about. How do you feel about that? With Kirk Cousins signing here, we're starting to get talked about. How do you guys feel about that?
It's both a negative and a positive, because a lot of the national media want us to have Justin Field to come here, but in the long overall goal, if you listen to his press conference, he said he wants a elite processor. So I'm pretty happy with Kurt. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure they did the due diligence on the injury and stuff like that, and they're gonna take it slow, like they do with Grady Jarrett and Troy Anderson, because they got players that had big injuries. So I think they will. They'll take their due diligence with that.
Okay. Soldier, when you're ready, put a link, put a drop in the chat, the private chat. Let me know you're ready. See you in the back. I'll send a message to you just to make sure you hear me. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
And with Fields, all that conversation around him, and the fact that honestly, a lot of the teams was passing up on him.
Yeah,
it just kind of says a lot about that player. And
Yes.
can you imagine if we did decide to go with him? It would probably still been a mixed, fan base on that. It says, I don't want to be overhyped by the media. They make the team nervous to do too much in the field. You know what? As long as they don't pay attention to that, because Arthur Smith kind of started paying, feeding into that, At first he was like, no, I don't worry about it. I don't look at it. You know how you do, but he started listening to it. The pressure was on. He was starting to look a little more stressed. And, first he went into, no beard, cut this. And, we're a win now team and everything else. But I don't know what happened there. I think it was more of his ego.
It is.
It was just some poor decisions made that was crucial, so, KC station number 9, Dirty Bird Dixon said, I truly believe that Lady Bird of AFN is a God-given podcast. I appreciate y'all as a whole. Go Lady Birds. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, I see some comments. So let's go ahead and get Mr. Soja. Let's get him on here. On here. I think Whitney, I got to put her back on the camera. But what's going on, Soja?
Hello.
Hey there, ladies.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. How you doing?
I can't call it. I'm alive, man. I'm ready
that's
the
the most important part.
That's it.
Woke up blessed. That's what I'm talking about.
It. Amen to that.
So your expectations, sir, what are your ideas? And, just give us this the off season. So we really just free for all. What do you think? What's going on with this draft and Falcons lately? What are your expectations?
I'm expecting us to do big things, but I'm not quite sold on this staff yet, because I want to see how it meshed together. Like me and my little brother, we got a bet going. He a Panthers fan for whatever reason. Oh my God. My daughter a Succaneers fan.
Oh, where did you go wrong, man? Where did you go wrong?
It's beef in my house all football season, in I be ready to mollywop him and throw her.
I think that type of like, you better than me. You are better than me.
But these is though, right? Me and my little brother, we got a bet going. So I said, man, by week 8, I don't want to put too much stock into it yet. I want to see how it mesh, how it come. It's like when you cooking the gumbo or something. Like you got when you put them seasons on that junk, like and you throw it in that pot. When it come together, like I want to get that taste. Like you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah, I'm getting what you're saying. It's like it's probably gonna, first few starts, it's gonna take a minute for them to gel together. But once they start clicking, that quarterback and receiver situation is down packed. Everybody know. I already know how his arm is. I'm in position to be ready to pick that up. We got these tall people getting ready to grab and do all kinds of stuff. I'm excited. So, but it's, high expectations. I do hope to see improvement.
I'm expecting big things out of Mooney because he played with Mitch Trubisky and he put up almost 1,100 yards. And Mitch Trubisky, who they say is a quote unquote bum, like, and he put up 1,100 and he didn't get 800 yards in 3 years with Fields.
That's what I'm saying.
His quarterback, and he was supposed to be the upgrade. Now, if you let that sink in, your head might hurt a little bit. How the hell the upgrade look worse than the damn bum?
I know.
Now, I'm expecting big things out of Mooney. I'm saying I feel like he might get like about 1,100 this year. Drake, we know that Drake is Drake.
That's quite a bit. You
high expectations.
Drake is Drake. He's high expectation out of him.
I mean, he got to spread the love. You think they're going to be shooting it across the way that much to do Kyle Pitts? Make sure they get Mooney. Make sure they get Ray. Make sure they get B. John and Tyler.
It's fine. We got a Ray on the team.
I feel like Ray is a
sound crazy.
Yeah.
Ray is a count body. He's gonna be gone. He's gonna be gone. Like, I don't see Ray making the 53-man roster.
I don't see it either. I agree with him.
Like Mooney, he's here to stay. Like him and Drake. See, what folk got to realize is Drake commands a double team now. Like, people is really starting to catch on to Drake. Like, and what I like about Drake game, he not scared to go across that middle of the field. Like, a lot of wide receivers, like when I played quarterback, a lot of receivers were scared to go across the middle. Like, unless it was something like a slant or a dig route or something like that. But they was really scared to go across the middle.
Yeah.
But Drake, he a big body guy. I feel like this is Pitts' show improved year.
Okay, what do you think about the draft? You know, which direction you think they're gonna go in the draft? Calvin Ridley. Y'all, come on, don't be scared now. Come on the show and say hello. Come on. Got a couple more minutes.
This wide receiver is very deep.
Who the hell mentioned Pete Rose Ridley? You said something about Pete Rose.
You come on, Disco Ridley?
Oh,
Lord.
Oh, Disco and Final.
That boy bid against us. And these folks talking about bringing back.
Yes, I saw that.
I saw that.
Man,
and I think he threw a jab at us, I think. Was that him?
Yeah, it was throw a jab. He didn't sign with the Jaguar. So he just signed with Tennessee so we won't get the second round. So yeah, that was the jab right there.
I won't even give him that much of us being a jab. I think he went where the money was. However, I will say this about our organization. Once you piss Arthur Blank off, like once you do certain shit, Arthur is unforgiving. I don't think he will ever. I'm going on a stretch, maybe, but I just don't see him ever like wanting to get Calvin Ridley back. I just don't see it.
He didn't. He wasn't even on their radar.
It says I see the Falcons being 10-7 or 9-8 with this after this draft and everything. What y'all think about LA Rams? You just in here what's your team got going on? We need to actually invite you on. I would love to have opposing teams come on and talk about their team and what they see what's going on in the draft. I would like to see what all the competition is doing. But he said he see us going 10-7 or 9-8. What do y'all think about that? That's an improvement in schedule and the rankings and everything else, and just hopefully we do the damn thing. I think hopefully we improve this year. The better we grow. Let's see, Miss Witt, I agree. He said in Miss Witt, I would agree. But Soldier, how you feeling now? How you feeling? Are you gonna come on down to the Red and Black event July 13th?
I already booked my room.
Oh,
Go ahead, y'all. Let me get this link while I'm running my mouth.
I gotta come down from Pittsburgh. You know I'm coming.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
I'm coming home.
We'd love to have
a road game in Pittsburgh. We can meet up. And you can probably show me some places to eat and venture out in Pittsburgh if we ever have a game up there. But it gotta be in the fall. I can't do cold weather. That would not happen.
Oh yeah, I'm not a cold person.
I'm an indoor person, and it's gotta be in the fall.
Talk amongst you guys yourselves. I'll be right back to get these links for the guys for the Red and Black event.
Oh, okay.
Soldier, what players you looking at? I know we got a deep wide receiver in the draft. Who do you think we might pick in the later round as a wide receiver?
Honestly,
who's on your radar?
I honestly feel like we shouldn't even draft no wide receiver in this draft class. It's not, like we pretty stacked that wide. Like we got a safe full of money, and they keep trying to put more in there. Like, bro, the money busting out the damn safe. We don't need no more wide receivers. Like, we need to go. If it was me, the GM, if I put on my GM hat, I would go first round. If Brock Bowers not there at 8, I'm trading back from 8 to like 12 to 15. I'm going to go get me a left tackle right now. I'm not waiting until Jake, and then we be in another Matt Ryan looking situation, like where we done moved all the guy and we just got a big hole to fill. I wouldn't do like, no. You go and get him now. Let Jake play this year and groom him up. Yo, bro, this is how you read this. This is how you stand up against this type pass rusher. This is how you, like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, grooming, developing with a coach and the player on the field, because on field is where you're gonna get most of your learning. It's like the real world. You get most of your training on the job. You might know how to make the sandwiches, but until you actually in there making the sandwiches, you don't know how to make the sandwiches.
Yeah.
True. You got to get out there and get that experience. Yeah, definitely.
I would go and get my left tackle first. Then I would trade Pitts and go and get my DN.
Oh, everybody want to trade Pitts. I would see somebody else say trade Pitts.
We better get Brock Bowers first before we trade Pitts. I say if he's there, you get him and then trade Pitts.
I didn't want Pitts. I'm a Florida Gators fan. I never liked the Pitts coming out of college, like, because the same problem that he got right now is the same two problems that he had in college. He can't run routes correctly.
Exactly.
He running wide, and he can't block.
Exactly.
Like, a tight end is your sixth offensive lineman. That's pretty much his fill-in spot. Like, he's your sixth offensive lineman. So why the hell would I go and get a guy who can't block?
Now, actually, we're gonna go with Alberto's question here. You know, would y'all give Julio a 1-year comeback to the retiree Falcon contract? Julio is a Raheem kind of guy.
No.
I give him a 1-day contract. You come sign this contract and retire. You ain't playing one game.
Yeah.
I mean,
I ain't forgave him for that Philly game that he lost us in 2017, that he cost us. On the damn goal line, Matt Ryan fall down, get up, throw you the ball, make it a catchable ball, you let it slip.
You break it up.
Damn hands.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
What you say on that?
I don't think it's just that. I think as much as I love Julio, he did a lot for the city and he was a dynamic player. I think the way he left put a bad taste in a lot of people. It did. He left. So I don't know how much I say. I still respect him as a player. I hate he didn't get a ring, but you can't leave places like that. You can't be ungrateful. One thing I used to love about Julio, that he wasn't a diva, then he turned into a diva.
He was a diva all along.
Yeah, he was a diva.
He was a diva. You just didn't see it.
We just didn't see it. But
2016,
what it is.
That Super Bowl year, we tore up his contract, gave him a new contract in the middle of the damn year.
Yeah.
He talking about he won't be the highest paid receiver. D-Hop took it from him. We tear the contract up. 2017, give you a whole new one. And then you talking about, and then you go on Skip and Shannon and embarrass us like that. Got us looking foolish as hell. It'd be that's like catching your girlfriend cheating. I'd rather you just told me. Like, just tell me how you feel. Don't go on TV and embarrass the hell out of me. Like, he's done. He's cool.
And then put it on a Tennessee Titan letterhead. You should have done like a class act like Matt Ryan, do a full page to thanking the fans. He didn't even do that.
You just saying he was out of here. I didn't like it either.
I don't think he even wrote that letterhead.
I don't think he did either.
On there and that'll be it. That shows you how you appreciate us as a fan. So I'm feeling salty about that.
It was just, to me, he was getting a little too favored, and of course, those injuries, he was, babysitting that, and I can't do it today. Coach, go ahead and sit down, Julio Jones. You don't really got to practice today. You're good over there. So he was just taking that money, and I mean, of course, he's of course, in his heyday, great player. I'm actually highly disappointed because I really wanted him to be like the Roddy Whites and those players. It hurt my feelings.
Respect for Roddy. I have mad respect for him. So
I got
It hurt my feelings,
because I
but
felt like they actually did Roddy dirty on the way.
they did do Roddy
They
dirty.
did him shady.
Yeah,
They did him shady now. So, but Julio Jones just kind of got too greedy for his blood. And I guess, of course, we wasn't winning anything. I get it. We weren't winning. So it's like, dude, let me go find somewhere I can go get a Super Bowl ring and sit on but basically he just sitting on his ass, to get these. You ain't in it, like you leaving this situation to go to where you went to. And who team you on now? Is he even signed somewhere? What is that?
I don't even know if he's signed anywhere.
I think he's gonna retire.
He on his couch.
So somebody
couch. Well, so.
But it is a little something I can tell y'all from my job. Julio is actually building a car lot here in Georgia. He is building a car lot here in Georgia.
Is he still living in Georgia? I know he used to stay over there close to Atlantic Station, I want to say. Is where he used to stay. I wonder if he's still out that way.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's sorry about my car, y'all. I had to come pick up my food. But I forgot which one is which. If it's either Kia or it was Chevrolet. I have to give y'all that little bit of tea next week. But
we're gonna go ahead and get into that next week. We'll be back again. But
I do want to.
You better be selling Chevrolets and not no damn Kias. Georgia Ball now won't ride Kias. You ride Chevys. 450
Kias ain't no bad.
Man. 350s, 454s, like old school Chevys, man. Not no damn Kias, man. But that's about right though. Him and Flo, they selling insurance.
And speak your piece, which I think y'all talked about this earlier about Kyle Pitts and the trading and drafting Brock Bowers at 8. What do y'all think about that?
I'll get Brock Bowers in a minute, a hot minute. If he falls to 8, I would get him. That is a prototypical tight end.
I would trade the hell out of Pitts and bring him here. I wouldn't even think twice.
Oh, but yeah.
And he'll definitely get traded. He'll definitely get traded.
But like he said, this is a prove it year for him. It's like you put up or you shut up this year.
It's gonna put up or shut up.
As much as they put into Kyle Pitts, I just don't see them, especially because of how Arthur Smith was last year and on bullshit ass plays. I just don't see them actually trading him, actually coming off an injury where he did have those first 2 years and shit like that. I personally just don't see it. But I mean, y'all know everybody like the next best thing. He couldn't even block a goddamn nose from having a cold. So I mean, it's just that I just say it is what it is. But I did want to ask the commenters in the chat, do y'all think we're going to be penalized for tampering?
I hope not.
Every team tampers.
Yeah.
Every team tampers.
Don't have your quarterback basically admit to talking to people in a press conference either.
Yeah, man.
They can get away around.
He did that. I thought that was just a rumor. That
hush money. That's TV all we need. A little off the blank hush money. That's all we need. Just a little. Hey, shut up. Yeah, you good. Man. This won't happen again. A little controversy don't hurt nobody. That's what I said with Miles on the show. Man. We had Escape
Gate. I think we probably get fined.
And Ball Gate. Watergate. Soundgate. So what's next? Tampa Gate. So we're going to the Super Bowl.
If they ain't penalized Brady for none of them cheating ass Super Bowls he played in.
Ooh,
like literally. The boy
Yeah.
played in 10 Super Bowls and cheated in what, 7
Every
of them?
single
The
one, in
only
my
ones he
opinion.
didn't cheat in is the 2 he lost to Eli and the one where he beat the hell out of Patrick Mahomes. The rest of them he cheated in. Like that, the whole world know this.
Yeah.
If they didn't penalize them, they better shut the hell up and kick rocks.
Ooh, look at what Scotty said. Robinson, he said, if Atlanta Falcons draft Brock Bowers, Kyle Pitts is moving to wide receiver.
I wouldn't mind that.
He don't need that. He's still gonna need how to. Well, they got coaches there that could teach him how to run good routes. So I'm not gonna poo-poo on that. But yeah, Brock's there at 8. You better pick him.
Just like last year, how we go and draft Bijan Robinson and we needed defensive line help like hell. And now we talking about this year drafting a D lineman. Bruh, the best D lineman in the last 5 years came out in last year's draft. Now,
I mean, but Bijan was the best available though. Bijan he is a one in a lifetime running back. It is what it is.
And I'm glad we got him. I actually picked them picking them actually.
Okay.
I don't see what y'all see in him. I don't see this generational talent. He ain't no Dorsey. He ain't no Emmitt Smith. He ain't no Eric Dickerson. Them is generational running backs.
But you gotta remember,
just fast.
But you got to remember, a lot this day and age is not so much of being a big bruiser anymore. Because if that's the case, we would have stuck to Tyler Algier and Cordell Patterson. The thing is, a lot of running backs now are agile. It's about how fast can you cut? Can you see? His vision is a fucking one for him to have been a rookie. Some of them moves and cuts he's made, I said, God damn. So I love Tyler Algier and I want him to be able to get another 1,000-yard year. I feel like he's earned it, he's deserved it, and I felt like Arthur Smith didn't use them backs appropriately last year. But I'm not gonna sit and compare him to no Emmett or none of the greats of running backs. Hell, I can't even compare him to Jamal Anderson right now. It's only year one.
Yeah,
but when you say
here on out.
But when you say generational talent, Barry Sanders, he's a generational talent. He only played 5 years, if that. Like them is generational talents. Bijan Robinson, nowhere close to any of those guys. Like he's good.
He's gonna definitely help Kirk Cousin out. I would rather have him back there. For Kirk Cousin to do what he needed to do.
Now that I can agree with, but when I think of generational running backs, like he's a good running back. Saying that he's generational talent, like that's putting too much into him. It's the same thing we did with Kyle Pitts, and the boy ain't been able to get right since Matt Ryan left.
Well, he was definitely nursing an injury.
Who ain't been able to get right?
We have to agree that
I wasn't talking about Pitts. I'm definitely just talking about Bijan. But Pitts, I believe, really honestly, is route running. They didn't run his route appropriately because he's big and because he can do interchangeably with being a tight end and a wide receiver. He's still a tight end at the end of the fucking day. He can't run he can run like a wide receiver, but not like a number one.
He can't block.
So I mean, it's just that they need to put him where he needs to be. When a lot of coaches who I respect, if they pull a player, they help their player become a better them. Arthur Smith, what I learned, he does not know how to develop his players. He doesn't know how to do this. So by me saying that, and who Kyle Pitts has been up under, I would see how he does when it comes to development with having coaches and having a development type of situation what it is now. Because hell, you seen the shit with the quarterback situation, no fucking development, throwing them into motherfucking shark infested water. But I mean, at the end of the day, we about winning. I'm not about to shit on an individual player because some of the players we didn't shit it on went to become superstars elsewhere. So I
Yeah.
keep my mouth shut.
Okay.
I let the motherfucking win and loss column speak it, and I go on about my goddamn business.
One
All
thing for
right.
sure.
Go ahead, Pam.
I'm
We're gonna
sorry.
wrap it up.
One thing for sure, these coaching staff they got on this team, they ain't gonna play no games. You either do your job or you gonna be benched. That's all I have to
Absolutely.
say.
All
I'm
right.
all for that.
That's right.
I
That's
just
right. Thank you again, man. Your
Yes.
last thoughts.
what's that?
What's your last thoughts? We ready to close this out because you know 6-man convo is coming up very
Hey
soon.
man, I'm ready to get this season started, man. I'm about to go and drop some bread with my bookie in about a week, man. Like, man, I'm betting it all, man. Like, I
Don't bet your house now.
Man, look, I got 6 of them.
Ooh.
Well, thank you for coming on, Soldier. Thank you again. Speak Your Piece has begun was handicapped by Arthur Smith. Y'all watch what Zach does with him. Christian McCaffrey 2.0. We see what Pitts did with Matt. So on that note, let's go ahead and close it out. Pam, you want to wrap this up so we can go ahead and pass it off to the 6-man convo following?
Trust. All I gotta say, trust the process. I'm looking forward for the draft. I'm looking forward to see what they're gonna do after the draft. I'm looking forward to see what they do before training camp, after the training camp, and I'm actually looking forward to see whether we're gonna have a home opening or a road game. And I'm anxious to see when that Vegas trip comes because I'm be flying seeker to that game.
Oh. Okay. And Miss Witt, your last thoughts.
Oh, my last thoughts is I appreciate Miles for coming in and speaking with us, and I'm excited to see where our platform goes as the season continues. And if y'all, and I do want to say with the commenters, thank y'all so much for always showing us love every week. It's been amazing to be able to talk football and have a whole audience that can respect coming from a woman's perspective on this game that we all love. And if y'all know females of other teams who want to come and talk and debate, hell, baby, I'm ready for it.
Bring
So
them.
make sure y'all let
We
them know.
love special guests to come on during the season. Bring them. Y'all know some women like that. LL Rams. If you know somebody, send them on over. Or shoot, you come on because you said you're happy about, you're gonna miss them. So, we want to hear your perspectives about what you experienced. We would love to hear from you. Yeah. Definitely come on and join us. I had to mute you a little bit, Soldier. You had a little bit background. But ready to run into some Falcons fans at a home game. Speaking of, have a good night, you guys. The Red and Black, I keep dropping it right here. The Red and Black event is July 13th. I'm gonna probably create a Facebook invite as well, but you still have to go on the Evite to get your tickets. But so I can get a little head count of who to expect. You can put you're going, maybe, possibly. Just respond. That way we can kind of chat and talk about some things. Those that are traveling that might need some hotel accommodations. If I can get a good enough people coming, what I'll try to do is block some rooms for you to help you guys get a little discount or whatever to stay. Let us know. Whatever you need to come on down here and party with us. We would love it. We appreciate you. Once again, we are the Ladybirds of AFN. We really truly appreciate you guys coming in and sitting with us and taking us seriously each and every episode. This is just the baby, the brainchild of this idea, because it's like we need more ladies to represent in sports, and I think that I got the right amount of women that are knowledgeable, respectful, know they shit. Let's say that now. They know they shit. I ain't even playing about that. So we appreciate y'all again. And we out though. Good night, peoples.
Thank y'all. Good night.